The truth is, Lil Durk's career has picked up tremendous steam in the last few years. Dropping a song with Drake and climbing to the very top of the Billboard music charts, Lil Durk has finally been able to receive the spotlight he hungers for, achieving massive success in 2020 that went on to follow over to 2021. Lil Durk has solidified himself as a strong presence in the hip-hop scene. But the success that Durk is having can't seem to overshadow the dark force that seems to linger in his life. With countless deaths of his close loved ones, some people have come to believe that Lil Durk is cursed. With all the tragedy that surrounds the rapper, this theory is starting to look more and more possible. Can it be true? Does Lil Durk have a demonic curse on him that claims the lives of his loved ones? Join me in this episode as we uncover the dark truth about Lil Durk. Lil Durk was born October 19, 1992, in Inglewood, one of the most dangerous areas of Chicago. Durk was raised in a single-parent home due to his father serving a lengthy prison sentence. Durk will go on to drop out of school at 17 to join a street gang. He will start to sell drugs and commit serious crimes in order to make money, the same story of many kids growing up in that Chicago area. He would end up getting arrested for possession of a firearm back in 2011 when he was only 17. Durk will go on to serve a 3-month sentence and was set free. This is around the time that Durk started to build an interest for making music, after seeing fellow Chicago rapper and friend Chief Keef blow up. If you want me to make a video on Chief Keef, let me know in the comment section. Durk was amazed by how Chief Keef was able to blow up and make it big. Being from where Durk is from, where most kids end up murdered due to gun violence, this seemed like a better way out for Durk. As Lil Durk would start making music, he used a feud between Chief Keef and another fellow rapper, Lil Jojo, to gain momentum, dropping diss tracks towards Lil Jojo, with Lil Jojo responding, dissing both Durk and Keef. This beef would eventually escalate, with Lil Jojo being savagely gunned down while riding his bike, tragically passing away at the young age of 18. Lil Durk mocked Lil Jojo's death, and many of his songs, even filming vlog videos mocking his death. Lil Durk will go on to sign a record deal off his growing fan base and connections to Chief Keef. Interesting enough, after the death of Lil Jojo, a recurring theme that seems to keep happening in Durk's life. But we will get back into that later in this video. Even though Durk was pursuing his music career, he still couldn't leave the streets alone. Getting arrested again in 2013 for another weapons charge, this time he was accused of trying to stash a gun in his vehicle as he was trying to make a run for it. He was caught and arrested and given a $100,000 bond. His charges were later dismissed after one of his friends who was at the scene took responsibility for the weapon. This is the same year he would drop his first official hit named This Ain't What You Want. Lil Durk was now picking up steam. He would go on to drop his mixtape called The Tape. 2014 would come paired with success and tragedy for Durk, as he would drop his tape Signed to the Streets 2 and lose his close cousin. As Durk was reaching new heights in his music career, he would lose his close cousin that was part of his crew named OTF Nunu, sadly due to gun violence. He was murdered while parked in a car when a man approached and riddled the car with bullets. He tried to drive away before passing out at the wheel, crashing nearby and dying at the scene. This would be a recurring theme in Durk's life. It seemed that the more successful he became, the more people he would lose. As just a year later he would lose yet another friend, OTF Chino, who was his manager and at the time was found shot to death. The same year he would release his album, Remember My Name, landing number 16 on the Billboard charts. It seemed that every time that Durk would achieve something, he would have to lose someone. Just like later in 2020, right before he would go on the run he is on now, someone else close to him sadly had to pass away. Most of us are aware of King Von's story, a close friend and artist of Durk's, who was killed after attacking another fellow artist, Quando Rondo, who is associated with rapper NBA Youngboy, who I just made a video of. People have been talking about the deaths of people associated with Durk, with a large amount of people starting to believe that he may be cursed. With a lot of his close friends seem to face the same bloody demise, while Durk seems to become more and more successful, you can't help but to start to think that there might be something going on here. What I found interesting is that Lil Durk and Pooh Shiesty dropped their hit song Back in Blood the same day Von was murdered, both of the events happening on November 6th. Back in Blood ended up launching the career of upcoming rapper Pooh Shiesty and coming back as a platinum record for both him and Durk. This leads me to look for answers. Why are these people dying around Durk? Is it possible for him to be cursed? After doing some critical thinking and searching around, what I have come up with is that there is no doubt some negative forces associated with him. It's like the Grim Reaper himself seems to follow Durk around collecting the souls of his close ones. Could this just be bad luck? Could it be that all the years of doing dirt is coming back to haunt Durk? The thing is that Durk is still alive and just becomes more successful. If this was karma for Durk, I'd think that things would be happening directly to Durk. It almost seems that the people that come close to Durk seems to be the ones that get hurt, while Durk drops more hit songs and just becomes more successful. What I do have to point out, it does look like King Von might have been set up. As far-fetched as this might sound, it's just oddly coincidental that Durk will go on to drop a song named Back in Blood the same day that his close friend will literally die in cold blood. A lot of the information of the events that took place the day of King Von's death don't make much sense to me. The story goes that after King Von will have his album release party at the nightclub, him and his entourage will return back to the Airbnb where Von was staying in Atlanta. Supposedly, Von changed plans last minute after getting news by one of his friends that Quando Rondo might have been at a nightclub around this location. Von had his driver drive him to the location instead of the Airbnb where the rest of his entourage had headed to. When they arrived, Von quickly spotted Quando, and we all know what happens next. Von attacks Quando as a close friend to Quando opens fires on King Von, killing him. Just 3 months previous to this happening, Durk had dropped the biggest song yet with Drake, another person who I've done a video on. Drake, who is a sex god, is no doubt into occult practices. Drake has declared his admiration for Aleister Crowley through the symbology in his music, as I explained in my video. What I think happened is Durk might have taken the satanic oath when he made the song with Drake. See, getting a song with Drake isn't something that happens by accident. A feature from Drake has been compared to a blessing in the music world, a satanic blessing to jumpstart the career of any artist. The fact that Von died the same day that Lil Durk released a song Back in Blood, you can start to see odd connections. Could Von have been a sacrifice and the song Back in Blood be Durk's confession? Lil Durk is back in blood, completing his rebirth, now being able to accept all the perks of his membership. What made things a bit stranger was that Durk released a song called All My Soul back in 2015. In this song, Durk goes on to explain how the devil wants his soul, but he wouldn't sell his soul. What is strange about this is Durk's career was kinda out of decline at this point, as many drill artists had similar fates around this time after drill will start to die out from the mainstream. Lil Durk is at the height of his career now, with Back in Blood going platinum and his song with Drake going #1 on the charts. Durk never in all the time of being in the game had this much success. Lil Durk is the perfect candidate to use to spread the satanic agenda. Often fans love when their favorite artists live what they rap. Since drill music glamorizes murder as an achievement, Durk is admired for his persona of being a murderer. With an incident that took place back in 2019, most people would agree. Apparently, Lil Durk and King Von shot and robbed a man, and it was all caught on camera. Durk and Von were both taken into custody as they were released on bond. They were ordered to stay away from each other by court order. Maybe King Von should have taken this advice more literal, as Durk once again seems to be reaching a new height in his career, while another one of his loved ones go under dirt. I may not be 100% sure that Durk sold his soul through ritualistic ways, but I am 100% sure that he sold his soul through his actions in the streets. See, Durk made the decision a very long time ago when he decided to do whatever it takes to get what he wanted, at any means, no matter the cost or who may get hurt, even if that cost ended up being his soul. Durk has finally achieved his goal of sitting at the top of the game with the big boys. He was willing to do anything for it, even if it meant losing most of his friends in the process. Durk rapped about murders in his song and adopted an image of a murderer that was willing to kill anybody for any reason. Not only was this damaging for him and his loved ones, but it was also damaging for the community where he comes from. I touched on this in my video about NBA Youngboy. Often these artists are used to further destroy the communities they're in, having the artists glamorize the very things that are going to destroy their own people. Artists know the power they have, and they know how many fans listen to their every word and want to copy their every move. Instead of being a positive influence in these communities, they choose to worsen the problem by building a persona that glamorizes the negative things that are killing the people in the very communities they come from. People may not believe this, but artists have the power to end the violence in the street. They choose what's in and what is not. The thing is, record labels control the artists and use them to administer the brainwashing. They don't want things to change. They need to keep us killing each other so that we remain distracted from the real problem at hand. Durk sold his own people out for financial gain. He is willing to continue to spread a message of violence through his music so that he may stay on top of the world, not caring of the souls that will be lost on the account of his influence. As we listen to these artists, we must be aware of the messages they send through their music. We must not let them manipulate us and try to guide us on the wrong path. Durk might have gained the world, but it has cost him his soul and his loved ones. For what is it worth to gain the world, but to lose oneself? Thank you for watching this episode of Truth Is. If you would like to further support my channel, the link to my Patreon is in the description. If you join before the 28th of this month, you can still be entered to this month's monthly raffle, where you can win cash prizes and a shirt, even get to pick a video topic. Also, please leave a comment below on future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you like this video, please hit the like button, as this helps other people find these videos. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of future videos. Please follow me on Instagram at TheTruthIs01 and on TikTok at TheTruthIs. I will gladly appreciate it. Thank you.